Jon Moxley returns to WWE, a war declared on Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. Welcome back to Wrestling News CC, your ultimate destination for breaking news, shocking twists, and everything in between from the world of WWE. Tonight, we have a story that will change everything you thought you knew about the world of professional wrestling. We are witnessing an unfolding saga, one that will send ripples across the entire WWE Universe. Brace yourselves because, in a shocking twist that no one saw coming, Jon Moxley, formerly known as Dean Ambrose, has made a jaw-dropping return to the WWE. But this isn't just a return. This is an announcement. A declaration of war. And it's directed straight at two of the most powerful figures in WWE, Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. The stage is set. For months, WWE has been consumed by chaos. The Bloodline, a once invincible faction led by Roman Reigns, has unraveled. Roman, once the ruler of WWE, has found himself betrayed by those closest to him, left vulnerable, and surrounded by enemies. Paul Heyman, who once pulled the strings behind Roman's success, has become a wild card in this game of power. Heyman, the so-called wise man, was the mastermind who engineered the rise of Roman Reigns. But in a shocking betrayal, Paul turned his back on Roman and left him to fend for himself in a WWE landscape that was changing rapidly. No one could have predicted that Heyman's next move would be even more explosive. Whispers have been circulating for months that Paul Heyman, sensing the power vacuum created by Roman's betrayal, has been quietly laying the groundwork for a new era in WWE. He's been shifting alliances, recruiting new players, and aligning himself with the most ambitious and dangerous talents in the business. And front and center in this new plan? Seth Rollins. The rise of Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, once known as the architect of the Shield, has proven himself to be a man of unparalleled ambition. With Roman Reigns' power weakened and CM Punk sidelined with an injury, Seth has seized the moment, positioning himself as the new face of WWE. Rollins has taken full advantage of the chaos surrounding the WWE Universe, leaving no doubt that he's the golden child of the company. What many fans don't realize, however, is that Seth's rise to power may not have been as organic as it seemed. Behind closed doors, reports suggest that Seth has been working closely with Paul Heyman, forming a secretive alliance built on a shared thirst for dominance, ego, and betrayal. Together, they could be planning something far more dangerous than any of us could imagine. But, unbeknownst to Heyman and Rollins, there is one man who sees through their plans. One man who knows exactly what they are up to. And that man is Jon Moxley. The moment everything changed. Late last night, during a dark match at an untelevised AEW event, something shocking occurred. The arena lights went out, plunging the crowd into darkness. For a few long moments, no one knew what was happening. The tension was palpable. And then, a single spotlight hit the Titantron. The audience was left in stunned silence as the image on the screen came into focus. There, standing motionless in front of the camera, drenched in blood, was none other than Jon Moxley. His eyes were cold, unblinking, and emotionless. For a moment, it was as if time itself had stopped. Jon Moxley didn't need to shout. He didn't need to scream. His presence alone was enough to send chills down the spine of every person watching. The crowd was silent, hanging on every word as Moxley's gravelly voice echoed through the arena. He spoke, his words as chilling as they were deliberate. "Paul, I only got one message for you." And with those words, Moxley slowly raised a weathered, folded piece of paper, the original Shield contract from 2012. A symbol of brotherhood, unity, and the bond that once held the Shield together. Moxley unfolded the paper with painstaking care, before lighting it on fire. The flames consumed the contract, turning it to ash in the palm of his hand. The screen went black. The only sound that remained was the crackling of the fire as the image faded away. The aftermath. Backstage sources have confirmed that Paul Heyman was watching the footage live. As soon as the flames appeared on the screen, Heyman stood up and walked out of the building, refusing to speak to anyone. Those who were close to him say his face went pale, and that he immediately began making phone calls, likely scrambling to respond to this new threat. One thing is clear, Jon Moxley's return isn't just personal. It's surgical. It's strategic. And it's a declaration of war against Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. Moxley has come back with one objective in mind, to tear down Seth and Paul from the inside out. The wild card, Jon Moxley. What makes this situation even more dangerous is that Jon Moxley is not under contract with WWE. This means he's a free agent, a wild card who can show up at any time, in any place, and strike when least expected. Moxley isn't confined by WWE's rules. He's not a part of their structure. He can attack anyone, anywhere, and no one is safe. Reports from high-level WWE officials suggest that they are scrambling to figure out how to handle Moxley's sudden reappearance. Some insiders believe that Moxley is playing a long game, biding his time before making his move. Others speculate that he may already be inside WWE, waiting for the perfect moment to make his presence felt. What we do know for sure is that Moxley's return will have far-reaching consequences for the future of WWE. The Shield connection. Let's take a moment to reflect on the significance of Moxley burning that Shield contract. For those who don't remember, the Shield was the faction that once dominated WWE. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Jon Moxley were an unstoppable force. They tore through the WWE roster, dominating every opponent in their path. But the Shield's legacy wasn't just about in-ring victories. It was about brotherhood. It was about loyalty. It was about trust. The burning of that contract symbolizes the destruction of everything the Shield once stood for. It's a clear message from Moxley to Rollins and Heyman: everything you thought you knew about this company, about the power structures in place, is about to change. The old alliances are dead. The bonds are broken. And there's no going back. A personal revenge. What makes Moxley's return even more personal is the history he shares with both Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. Let's not forget that Moxley and Seth were once brothers in arms, battling side by side as part of the Shield. But their paths diverged, and their relationship soured over time. Moxley left WWE, embracing a new life in AEW. Meanwhile, Seth Rollins went on to become WWE's golden boy. As for Paul Heyman, well, his betrayal of Roman Reigns has left a bitter taste in the mouths of many. Heyman has long been a master manipulator, but his betrayal of Roman has made him a target for many in WWE, including Moxley. Heyman may think he's the puppet master, pulling strings from the shadows, but Moxley is coming for him, and this time, there's no one left to protect him. The implications for WWE. Moxley's return isn't just a personal vendetta. It's a seismic shift in the WWE landscape. As Moxley picks apart Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman, we can expect the very foundation of WWE to be shaken to its core. Will Seth Rollins remain WWE's top star, or will Moxley's return undermine everything he's worked for? Will Paul Heyman's manipulation of the power structures in WWE be exposed for what it truly is? And, most importantly, will the WWE Universe finally see a new era take shape, one that's led by Jon Moxley? This is only the beginning. Jon Moxley has returned, and his mission is clear. He's not here to pick sides. He's here to burn the entire WWE structure to the ground and rebuild it in his image. Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman are just the first targets in what promises to be a war that will reshape the entire company. The question now is, who will join Moxley in this new war? Who will be his allies, and who will fall before him? And what happens when the WWE Universe finds itself at the mercy of a man who once called it home, but now sees it as nothing more than rubble to be destroyed? Stay tuned to Wrestling News CC, because this is far from over. The revolution is just beginning, and Jon Moxley has made it clear that no one is safe. But wait, there's so much more to discover. Click on the next video right here, shown on the screen, for more exclusive insights, reactions, and all the latest happenings in the wrestling world. You won't want to miss it. Every click helps us grow and brings you more amazing content. So please, don't leave just yet, join us for the next video and keep the wrestling conversation going. Thank you for being part of our community. Goodbye for now.